Oh boy. Good morning, afternoon, evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, afternoon, evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a disaster. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers lose by a score of 41-20, and this was ugly. This was very ugly. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to kind of skim through the game. Usually I kind of go through an effort, but there's a lot of things to talk about here. Lot of things I don't like. Winnipeg drops 2 straight to Calgary. You'd think that in an off week they would make any adjustments. They'd maybe get their head out of their ass a little bit. No, this team kind of sucked. I'm not going to lie. This was unacceptable. This is unacceptable. There's so many problems with this game, but I'll cover a few of the things. So Milt Stegall returns to the panel, and he got a massive ovation. So Milt Stegall, obviously with the death of his son a while ago, absolutely tragic, returns to the panel, thunderous ovation from a sold-out crowd at Princess Auto Stadium, and just could not be happier to see Milt back. Very glad that he had that time off that he needed to grieve and whatnot. And so hope all is well for Milt Stegall. Can't think of anyone who doesn't absolutely love Milt Stegall. He's just a wonderful human being, and he's been through a lot. So in terms of injuries, Dalton Schoen is out on the 6th game. Our favorite glass receiver is on the injured list. I'm not going to lie. As a Bomber fan, at the end of this year, I don't know if we re-sign him. He's a good receiver. But do you know when he's not good? When he's not playing and he's injured constantly. Can't think of the last time he played a full 18 games. It's frustrating. Again, it's not necessarily his fault, but it's just, Stanley Bryant is out, this time not from heat stroke, but from whatever. I guess he maybe tweaked something. Vanderpool goes out to left tackle. Wallison at left guard. Not going to lie, Vanderpool looks much better at left guard because he was ugly at left tackle. I was not impressed with the offensive line tonight. I was not impressed with anyone. Actually, let me make this clear. I wasn't impressed with anyone tonight. I thought everyone individually had a good play here or there in the first half of this game. I don't think anyone had a good second half of this game. Like, can't even say Castillo because we didn't even freaking kick. Like, besides the convert, we got a touchdown in garbage time. This is brutal. But Bombers would go up a little bit earlier. They would go up 3-0. There'd be an Adam Bighill, kind of a half-assed tribute. Not going to lie, I kind of wish they gave a bit of a better one than that, rather than just kind of showing him on the sidelines and Bighill just going. So, but this game would be close going into halftime. The Stampeders would be leading 17-13. That's a doable game. They then would go on to score 24 points. The Bombers would get a touchdown. But don't let that fool you. The Bombers got nothing in the second half of this game. The only reason they got anything is because Calgary had scored a ton of points. They were ahead by so much. Everyone threw backups in. And then at that point, the Bombers, deciding to still play Streveler a little bit because Caleros goes down. And so I'm not going to lie. I don't have an issue with the hit on Caleros necessarily. I thought there were some late hits by Calgary. I'm going to be honest. I thought there was. There were some plays I was not pleased about where the whistle had been blown. The guy had an opportunity to stop and he didn't. There's a specific play. I can't remember what it was where he basically grabs a guy and swings him around his body. Whistle had went before he even started that swing. Didn't like it. Now I'm not going to blame this game on the officials. Bombers played like garbage. They deserve to lose. Calgary was a better team. They look better. Bombers are 3-2 and they've dropped 2 games to the Stamps. So the Stamps have now won the season series against Winnipeg. No matter if Winnipeg wins their next game against them in a couple or a few weeks. And oh my goodness, I hope you have your shit figured out by then. Because this was bad. Seriously. Like, I expect better. I do. The penalties. So many penalties. And again, I understand those upset in the sense of, well, there were some missed calls, this or that, whatever. I get that. I understand that. But at the end of the day, if you lose a game, even if you think the officiating is bad, you never lose a game because of the officiating. And we didn't lose a game because of the officiating. Calgary played better, and we played like undisciplined garbage. Now, Jefferson would take a spearing penalty, which I searched up the rule for that, where he has to hit him in the head or neck area. Maybe I didn't see a great angle. I thought he hit him in the high chest. I thought he hit him about right here. So it was a hard hit, maybe not necessarily a necessary hit, but I'm just kind of in the middle on that one. I didn't think it was maybe as egregious as maybe some people did. Vavel. I heard his name is Vavel because he rides dirt bikes, and he drives the dirt bikes in the gravel, as described by him on how to say his name. So Trey Vavel gets injured after he kind of gets tripped up and then gets ran over. Caleros gets taken down by two different guys, which at first, I'm not going to lie, I didn't like it because it looked like the guy kind of got behind and grabbed him and pulled him down, which I didn't like because it was one of those things where it's one thing if you follow through on a hit because you can't, like, you've committed to the hit, you can't do it. But it was another thing if you kind of then afterwards, like, that's something you could totally don't need to do. After seeing a replay on the hit, I don't really dislike it that much because it really doesn't matter because there's another guy who hits him square in the chest. And it's a clean hit. Protect your fucking players. Seriously, Winnipeg. I'm not going to lie. The amount of times where there was so much pressure in that pocket. It's not like this offensive line isn't capable of defending. I've seen them defend. I've seen Wallace defend. I've seen Vanderpool defend. I understand that you're missing Stanley Bryant. And Stanley Bryant is the best offensive lineman on the Bombers. And he is kind of your rock that is there. I get that. Does that mean everyone else should just forget how to play? You guys had a week off, and that was the best that we could see? Seriously, the only person I could say confidently had a good game tonight was Sergio Castillo because he hit a 58-yarder, didn't miss a kick. That's it. I'm not impressed with anybody else. Like, Evan Holm played decent out of the secondary. Nichols was a disaster. Marquise Bridges had like two different pick opportunities. He really should have had at least one of them. And I felt like a lot of the times we were chasing the play. How many, like, seriously, you want to know what the Bombers were awesome at tonight? Watching them catch the ball and then pushing them out of bounds. They were fucking amazing at that. They're amazing at giving up the first down and then afterwards dealing with the play. Again, I'm not saying you should constantly be jumping in front of balls because it's a bit dangerous. However, the amount of times I saw us covering a guy in double coverage and nobody has the balls to jump in front of that. One guy, jump in front, go for the interception. There were a few chances where that really was possible. Go for the interception. If you get it, you turn the tide of the game. You give your team life. I didn't see life. I didn't see fight in this team. That's what I needed. And if you miss it, your other guy's there to back him up. Mills was running through us. Seriously, he's a good running back. But, like, the amount of times that I just saw a hand grab his jersey and then slip down his leg and then there's nothing. And there's nothing. Happened to him. It happened when we were going after Vernon Adams Jr. Like, there's one play. Willie Jefferson jumps up, gets a hand on it. Where was that? We saw it for one play. One play. And then there were other ones where I'm not saying I expect him to hit it every time, but fucking try. Try something. Like, it's just, it felt like this team gave up. It really did at times. And it's one of those things where I'm not upset in the sense of that the Stamps aren't a good team. They are a good team. The Stamps have proven that. They beat us. They beat Saskatchewan. They beat us again. They have stomped their way to the top of the West, and Reggie Begelton is injured right now. Fair enough. They've earned that. However, what I'm upset about is the way we lost. Because don't let the score fool you. This is a 41-13 game. That touchdown was in garbage time. It means nothing. Nothing. The first half of this game, it wasn't perfect. There were some problems, but we were in it. We were behind by 4 points. The second half of this game, we rolled over and died. And as much as obviously it hurts that Caleros went out, and I hope that Zach Caleros is okay, I've seen Strevler put it together. I've seen Strevler get it done. Actually, there was one play I loved where Chris Strevler gets the snap. Brady Oliveira goes as the lead blocker. And Strevler, behind him, tanks it down. Stack the tanks. Go for it. Where was this play 4 fucking years ago? Seriously. I feel like this has been a broken record. I've been saying this for a while. Or in short yardage, if we're not sure. We got a guy who's like 300 pounds, backup offensive lineman, have him go in Brady's spot, get behind Strevler, and do the tush push. It works in the NFL, and they're on the same line. In the CFL, you have even a better advantage because they have to line up a yard off the ball. Seriously. And again, it's not even like we got burnt in short yardage or whatever. We didn't. But it's just, we can do better. Defense was bad. I understand that pick six by Claris, or not Claris. Chris Strevler, that was bad. That was bad. Webb read you completely like a freaking book. He read that play. But it's one of those things where you take away that pick six, you telling me the defense played well? Like, it's seriously, it feels like Adam Bighill is now like went over to Calgary and is like, hey, this is how the Bombers play defense. This is how you can exploit their system. And the Stampeders did that. Like, here's my question. After we played them in the Stampede Bowl and we got stamped and we got ran over, where was the fucking adjustment? Where? I didn't see it. Did you see it? Because, like, the only thing that looked like anywhere half decent is special teams. That's it. If all you have is special teams, you will not win a game in this league. I don't care who you're against. You'll lose to the fucking Red Blacks. I expect better. It's one of those things. There were opportunities in this game to light a fire. Dominic Rhymes gets the touchdown, and he goes over past the end zone, and he's going like this, whatever. I don't know what the fuck he is going on about. It's not like he, like seriously. At the end of the day, the Bombers went to the past 5 Grey Cups in a row, and he went to Ottawa, played like shit, and then went over to Calgary because he played on a terrible Red Blacks team that did nothing before he played on the Lions that were always the Bombers' bitch. But so, I guess he finally now can chirp, but it's like, seriously, this was frustrating because it felt like the Bombers quit. There needs to be adjustments made. There needs to be something. There needs to be life. Discipline. Seriously. Does O'Shea need to have a Ryan Dinwiddie press conference where he's calling players out for us to figure it out? Is it that we can play against everyone except Calgary? Because newsflash, Calgary's making the playoffs. If this team wants to go back to the Grey Cup for a 6th straight year and have a shot to not lose 4 in a row and to try to get it back on home field, they got to make some adjustments. Because at the end of the day, there is a very real chance that if you're in the playoffs, whether you're in the West Final or the West Semifinal, you're going to play Calgary. And hell, if the Bombers keep this performance up and they play like this against other teams, are we in the postseason? I sure as shit hope so. We'll have to see. Because right now, we're 3-2. The Lions are 3-3. So if the Lions get a win, they go above us. Now, again, I know games in hand, blah, 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 blah. And I understand that we have the season series against BC, which is good. But we need to wake up. Seriously. Because next week, we play Toronto. Now, I know that Toronto had the choke job of the century in their past game against Montreal. But they were looking pretty good before that. So, and we play notoriously bad when we're on the road in Toronto. So, I hope you have it figured out by then. Because I swear to God, if they lose a third game in a row, after going up 3-0 to start the season, if they go to 3-3, not going to be happy. It's going to be bad, especially since this Argos team sucks. It's not a good team. It's not. There's a reason that they are bottom of the East. Just going to go back to my notes, make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, protect your players, such and such gets injured. Blah, 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 blah. They're not announcing penalties. Penalties galore. Undisciplined bullshit. Oh, yeah, when they did the hug cam, the Bombers played Coldplay through the speakers. That was funny. Fun fact there. There were some people that were like imitating it as a joke. The social media team didn't even post the score. They just said Bing it. Because last week they said Google it. So I swear to fucking God, if I see Yahoo it or whatever the hell after next game, I'm going to be pissed. So, Bombers, get your shit together. Get some guys healthy. If Vavel is out for a decent amount of time, my God, we could finally use Peyton Logan. Seriously, when is that guy going to be off the injury reserve? I heard week 3. Newsflash, it is week 7. Week 7 would be really nice to have him back. I'll have him back. He hasn't played a game for us yet. Have him healthy. So hopefully he's okay. Hopefully the injury to Collaros isn't that long term. But again, it's concussion protocol. Before he came to Winnipeg, concussions were a big problem for Collaros. So we'll have to see. If not, we got Strevler. And you know what? We know Strevler can perform. Got us that first win of the season. So I want to know what your guys' thoughts were on the game in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys leave a like, share it around, and subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, but leave a comment on this game because misery shared is misery squared. So peace, love, and positivity for all you wonderful folks, and I'll see you guys next time.